Hey, sorry for taking your time up with another video where I just talk, and if you're one of those guys that doesn't like that, I don't care, go away. The people that support my work, I owe you an explanation for why there's no video coming. It should have already been there. In fact, I did make one and it was horrible, so then I just wasn't going to do that to you. I got to give you quality. It's a personal thing. Anyway, the reason I don't have any video for you lately, I recently explained that I had some work to do around here and get the wheels on the lawnmower and all those things, and yeah, that all kind of went sideways on me. The thing with the lawnmower, I ordered wheels for it. I was actually going to make a video about replacing plastic wheels with steel wheels. It took those wheels a week to get here, and they sent me the wrong product. Absolutely the wrong product. They sent me wheelbarrow wheels. Whatever, right? So that put me on the scramble to find some wheels for my lawnmower. And the reason that's so important is because, we've got a spring ritual around here. Every time this time of year rolls around, city code enforcement comes out. And they will just destroy you if you catch their eye. So it's important for me to get my perimeter mowed, and just the kind of place you just keep driving by, right? Well, when my sister was here, another spring ritual that you already are aware of occurred. That kid came by and painted my fence. Well, I was out of paint. 20 years I've been covering up graffiti at first light for two reasons. One is so that whoever painted it doesn't even get to see it in daylight, and two, so that the city doesn't come and bother me with their crap. Anyway, being out of paint, I was waiting for a payday to get some paint, and day 3, city shows up. And, well, I didn't have my lawn mowed yet, because I hadn't located wheels yet. Anyway, the thing just snowballed, man. One of my neighbors came to the back gate. I heard him yelling. I went out there and he said, "Man, you got a city guy at your front fence." And I said, "What?" And he said, "Yeah." So I'm out there, and I see this guy standing there peeking over my fence. And I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "You got a lot of violations up here." And I said, "No, I don't. What I've got up here is an expectation of privacy. Have you got a warrant?" And he laughed at me and he said, "I don't need a warrant. I've got a right of easement." I said, "Oh, the hell you say, brother. You're no different than a cop. You can't just go searching people's property. It's illegal." And he laughed at me and walked away saying, "Well, I'm going to get off your property now since you think I need a warrant." And I went around front and I found his notices that he left me on site. And I mean, it's a pile of them. He cited me for the graffiti. And he cited me for a laundry list of things around my place that, well, they're just none of his business. Because, for one thing, I've got privacy fence, and the government has no authority without a warrant to come approach your fence, look over it with a camera or whatever, however they want to do it. And this guy literally went all the way around my place, and entered my property at one point. Anyway, he left me this mass of stuff that I'm supposed to do, and what happens a couple days after that is you get your official notices in the mail. And these are legal documents. This is serious stuff. And here in Oklahoma City, they've added some teeth to this stuff. Like ultimately, it could end in criminal charges. It can lead to you being evicted from your property. Potentially your property being seized or bulldozed. Any number of bad things can happen. Well, I'm not a lawyer, but I do know a little bit about my rights. One of these letters or actually all 3 of those letters told me that I had 10 days to respond, so I did respond. And what I did was basically just told the story that I just told you about finding this city employee on my property, conducting an illegal search, and then I made the demand that since no duly executed warrant exists in these matters, I demand that they stop all proceedings. And I cited appropriate Supreme Court rulings regarding that matter. One of them is styled United States versus Dunn. And what's important about that is it's where the Supreme Court defined the idea of curtilage. Curtilage is the area around your house where you still have Fourth Amendment protections. The other one is a case styled Marshall versus Barlow Incorporated, which was the definition of the limits of authority to this type of municipal inspector. Basically, they have to stay to public areas. They're not entitled to enter the easement. They're surely not entitled to enter your property. They need to stay, the rule is, where people would normally be, which means streets, sidewalks, and maybe your driveway. People would normally be there. And that's the limit of their authority to investigate legally. So, yeah, anyway, this is what I've been doing for a couple weeks now, because not only did I have to respond, but I had to spend several days making sure that not only was this place in compliance on the outside, but I had to knock it out on the inside of the fence, because just because I've demanded that they get a warrant doesn't mean they're going to respect the law. Although, see, I've been doing this for 20 years with these guys. That's how I know how to do it. It's gotten a lot worse in the last several years, but you remember I moved down here to rebuild old houses, and nobody lived here, not a soul, but every now and then these inspectors would show up. And all I'd have to do is go and start cleaning the garbage out of one of these burned out old rentals, and those people would show up. And all of a sudden they're gonna schedule my work for me, you know. So it kind of became a game of working around these people so that you don't get caught at an odd time and they screw up your work schedule because they're making demands of you and they're threatening you with court action and all of this stuff. But it's gotten worse lately. This particular inspector has absolutely no rights or no respect for people's rights. He entered my property 2 years ago. A tree fell over in my front yard, and he actually used that tree to get over the fence to post a notice on my house. Well, I called this guy's boss and I said, hey, you got a problem here. I said, you got a man that just entered my property illegally to post a notice on my house that should have been just posted on the easement outside of my house. And he said, oh, really? I've never had a problem with this man before. I'll speak to him. I'm like, all right. Now, I know that guy pretty well, the boss. I've been down in front of his desk slamming on it before, because this stuff makes me angry. It's rights violations, and there's basically no recourse. In a Fourth Amendment violation, your only rights are that anything that they find in this search cannot be used against you. You cannot be prosecuted for that. And that's what why I've sent them this letter. They can't use anything that they found during this illegal search. And these people know this. This guy's boss, probably about 10 or 12 years ago, just before I got sick, I brought in a 39 Chevy pickup that I was going to rebuild. And I had it in the backyard, and I started getting sick, and realized, wow, I'm not going to be able to do this project, you know. And so, next thing you know, these people show up. The whole place wasn't entirely site-proofed then. It's one of the reasons that I did it, though. And they show up and they take photographs and all this stuff and file these complaints for a junk vehicle. And so I went down to that guy's office, made an appointment with him, and I said, show me what you got. And he lays out this folder, and here's all these pictures of my house, my backyard, and all this stuff. And I said, oh, that's fine. Where's the warrant for all of this investigation? And he just takes that folder, closes it, slides it right off his desk into a trash can, and smiles at me. Now, they know they're violating your rights, and they will lie to your face. I have a right to easement to be here. And it's just, boy, it pisses me off, frankly. But anyway, yeah, this is what I've been doing. The good thing is, though, that, like I said, I got sick about 12 years ago. I've had this thing that the internet has called Morgellons. But what I found, finally, after 10 years of looking, I mean, that's what this scarring is on my arm. This is when I was trying to burn this stuff out, because I couldn't get any medical help. But what I finally found just a few months ago is it's a simple enough full-body fungal infection, and iodine kills it. So I've been taking iodine for the last couple months, and you know what? I've been doing manual labor for the last 4 days, baby. Yeah, I'm back. My health is back after 10 years of misery because, you know, hey, thanks modern medicine, thanks for the help. Anyway, yeah, I hate to just dump on you with a beefy video, but I want you to understand what I'm doing and why I'm not doing anything good for you. And, you know, I think this one has really impacted my life this time. It's affected my state of mind. Things just keep getting worse and worse and worse. And I've been violated in my home. I'm going to have to see how I feel about that. Anyway, I've got things just about straightened out around here. I don't have to, I've got to wait for a response from these people regarding the letter I sent them. They will either contact me to let me know that they have dismissed this case with prejudice as I demanded, or that they will let it just time lapse out, or if they decide not to let it time lapse out, they will approach this place one more time. And I just have to wait and see what happens, and I will let you know what that is. And what happens is going to determine what I do next in this matter, and I'll keep you informed of that. But I don't know. Everything's just kind of wild right now, and the good news is I was going to clean all this stuff up anyway, because, you know, I had a lot of stuff here for doing the projects that I do, and it's all pretty much done, you know, so I need to clear the stuff out anyway, so no big deal, no harm, no foul. Place is going to look like a new penny here in a few more days of kicking ass. And anyway, everything's alright. I don't have any damn video for you, and I'm disappointed about that. And anyway, I'll see you soon. You know I appreciate you. Let's go see what this looks like.